So, the big talk of the town these days is how do I get students or how do I stop students from rejoining one of my meets? And additionally, how do I prevent them from starting their own meetings under school meet accounts? So, I'm going to start by telling you what not to do. Okay, while this first option is a wonderful one for a number of reasons, we can't really use the add meeting into a calendar option, which of course would entail when you're scheduling something within your Google Calendar, going and selecting Hangouts Meet. We're not going to be able to use that one. So I'm going to close that out. The second thing you do not want to do is what I'm about to show you. Going to join or start a meeting. And then you'll see here that it says leave it blank. You can't leave it blank. Okay, we're going to have to create a nickname. I'll come back to that in a minute, but I want to show you, you don't want to do that. So we're going to make sure that we put a nickname in. So now I want to show you the two ways that we can do this to lock down your meet sessions a little better. Number one, as indicated, start with a nickname. Now your nickname needs to be something, or it can be something that you can use over and over and over again. So once your students know it, they can continue to use it. But when you do it this way and the settings are set properly, I'll get to those in a minute, your students will not be able to join unless you have actually initiated the meeting first. So I'm going to create Phil17 for my nickname. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And I'm going to continue. And now, when you get to this screen, you actually have even though you haven't really joined the meeting, you as a presenter have already started it, so students would be able to start coming in. Okay. Now, before we move on, let me show you what needs to be done. So before this entire lockout concept will work, whoever administrates your Google accounts for your school, for your district, needs to make sure that they go into the admin settings and under Meet for students, the following have to be disabled. Video calling, that is the thing that actually gives them the ability to start a meeting. Recording and stream. When those are shut off, what we're about to do will work perfectly. Now your students will join the meeting. I'm logged in now as a student by simply going to meet.google.com, or they can use the waffle menu. And when they go to join a meeting, they can enter the nickname and click continue. Okay, now they'll be able to get into our meeting. So the rest of this is just conducting a meeting as usual. However, one thing to keep in mind is when the meeting is over, you cannot leave the meeting until all of your students have left. Now, you can check this by clicking this window, and then if there are any students still left on, okay, you need to go and remove them, or you can remind them to please leave the meeting. But make sure all students are gone before you leave your meeting, okay? Then they will not be able to get back in. So that's one option. The other option is to use Google Classroom. Okay, so I'm going to go to Classroom. And I love the way this works. So if I go to a class that I want to use it in, something new has been added to settings. So if I go to my settings, you'll see down here I have Meet settings. Okay, now these are turned on right now. Okay, I'm going to shut them off. Okay, you can see this is how it will probably default. Now when I turn it on, this becomes your meeting code. And if for some reason you want to copy that, maybe to share it with somebody from outside of your class, like maybe another teacher or other people you might want to allow to join your class, even though they're not in your particular classroom class, you can use this, you can send them this link, okay? Your students within your class don't need that link, and I'll show you why, because they get it in two places. They get it right from here, which will enable them to get to your class, or they can get it from the classwork page. Okay, once they click it, it just takes them into a regular meeting. Again, make sure your settings within your district settings, your admin settings, are set as per the parameters that I told you. Now, I can shut this off anytime I like by simply going to the settings and just unchecking this box. Okay, I hope this was helpful.